Hi, guys. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Jo Labbé. Here we are on Wednesday night, and we're back to reconnect with your soul so you can do some healing for yourself. This is one of those times we do it once a week where you get the opportunity to do your own healing work. Lots of times, if we have a healing practice of our own, or we're people who give a lot of time to other people, we're not terrific with our self-care. So this can be part of your self-care routine. I know it is for a number of people I know, and believe it or not, it's part of my self-care routine as well, because it gives me an opportunity to do some of my own healing work as we do this meditation. So you guys know the drill here at Star Nations and Be Live TV. If you could like and share this post so that we can reach some other people, it allows us to show up in Facebook land more regularly if you like and comment. And it shows up in the news feed so that, people can hop on. We've had a lot of newbies because of that, and I really appreciate it, because the more people we reach, the more people who are able to start shining their light more fully. And we need that pretty badly as a planet. So I encourage you guys to do that. And I want to say a big thank you to Neshi, because she is sort of my producer these days for this show so that we can help it flow even faster, because I want to make sure that I get to read all the messages that come through for every single person who wants to get a message this evening. And the best way for me to do that and not get confused is for her to give me a little assistance in that area. That way I won't drain my energy trying to find who needs my help. She's going to help direct me in that response. So thank you, Neshi, for that. We have a few minutes before we're going to get started. So I just wanted to give you guys a chance. Here we are at the end of November. I was just thinking about this morning. We only have one more month of 2018. And this is a great time to start thinking about what you would like to shift in your life for the new year. And you can actually start it now. You don't have to wait until January 1st. But if you aren't happy with one of your relationships, or you're having difficulty at your job, or you're not having time to do your creative pursuits, or you haven't quite brought your physical and spiritual life into balance, how about thinking about ways to bring that into the healing meditation this evening? I know that for me, my self-care was really high last year. I had a lot of things going on, and the only way I could get through was with at least 5 hours of self-care dedicated to me personally every single week. And then I was feeling much better in the spring. And so I kind of cut that back and got myself down to like 1 to 2 hours. And guess what happens? You end up with a lot of stress when you do that. So when you build it into your schedule, your spiritual team knows that you're dedicating that time for you, even if it's, taking 15 minutes every day to just sit quietly and focus on your breathing. Then your team has time to tap in and help you out. So I encourage that. So if you would like a reading after the meditation, remember the drill. This is what it is. Just say card please, or please and thank you. And I will pull the cards in order that they were requested. And I know that we had a couple of requests before the show started. So Neshi's on that. But, if you would like a card draw, please make sure that you get those requests in as you get a chance. And don't freak out. I'm going to read them in order, and I will go until we're done. Sometimes we read cards, until 8 o'clock, 8:30. We've even gone to 9 a couple times because I wanted to make sure that we got everybody in. But I think because I'm having a little bit of help with it, we'll be able to keep this going a little bit faster. So I'm not taking up a ton of your time. But again, if this is part of your self-care, is there really a time limit on it? And I encourage you to listen to the messages that are coming in for other people. I know I haven't talked to you guys about this before, but the messages for the, individual is also for the group. So there's some aspect of cards that other people are receiving that may be a nudge for you as well. Remember, you have a pretty large spiritual team, not just 3 or 4 that some people think, And so just imagine that, each card that's getting pulled is a little chime in from another one of your team members who's saying, oh, yeah, and you ought to try this. Oh, yeah, and you ought to try that. Because if it speaks to you that it might possibly be for you, well, then take it as a message. Don't dismiss it just because it's for somebody else. Because we often come together as a community because we have similar vibrational things going on. So that way the message can be for everybody. Oh, hi, Rob. Love to have you start off the show with What'd You Know, Polly Joe. That's sort of been my catchphrase, Rob invented for me. But for me, it makes me smile every time I see it. It's fun when you have a way to make somebody else smile. Does that make sense? Hi, Mary. Of course. Thank you. I'm so happy to do that. I love your llama picture. I think that's a llama. It's adorable. Nice to see you. So we're going to get ready for the meditation because I want to make sure that we get that in and we get our clearing work done. And then we're going to pull cards. Oh, tonight's deck, we're back to the Spirit Oracle deck from Tony Salermo. And, we'll do this one tonight. Last week we did a different card because, we were in a different energy so close to Thanksgiving, and my team was pretty adamant that we needed a different deck for last week. But we're going to use the Spirit Oracle tonight because I find that when we get used to a set of cards, if we do it for the entire month, then the cards are like itching to give you a message as well. So that excites me anyways. So to do the meditation, we're going to start by getting ourselves really focused in the now. We want to make sure that we're either sitting or laying down. And if you're sitting, you want your arms and legs uncrossed. And I know I've said this before, but it's a good reminder. If you're sitting with your legs crossed on the floor, make sure you're in an absolutely perfect lotus position, which I don't know really hardly any people can achieve that. I could in my early dancing days in my 20s, but with 50-year-old hips, that's not happening. So if you're sitting that way, make sure that your legs are stacked on top of each other because that way everything is wide open. Because if you have a circuit crossed, it's just like electricity. It'll bounce back through your body, and that's not the most comfortable sensation. I don't recommend it. So you want to keep all your circuits wide open. And we're going to begin by calling in the divine energy, however you perceive that. So if you connect to the divine as creator or God or goddess or all that is or consciousness, oneness, you want to begin to invite the divine in this evening. And to do that, I always like to start with having the divine surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. Because when we do that, it creates a sacred space for us to feel comfortable, to open and allow the healing energy to flow. Good. And if you feel the need, you can create a second bubble of protection around the room or the space that you're in. because I want you to feel nice and secure and comfortable in your own bubble, in your own space.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And now we're going to call in your spiritual team and call the whole team in. Don't be shy. So invite in your angels and your guides, your ancestors, the ascended masters, the star beings, your animal spirits and totems,
Yeah.
even the mystical creatures that you connect with, the gods and goddesses from ancient times.
Yeah.
All divine beings of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment now. And we set the intention that the healing this evening is for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves.
Yeah.
So call in the divine so that it's touching the top of your crown or the top of your hara line, your crystalline tube, and just notice what it feels like or what you experience having the divine energy in your own energy field. Do you feel pressure? Do you feel tingling? Do you hear buzzing? Do you sense light or heat or coolness? And we all experience the divine in our own unique way, so there's no right or wrong answer. But just taking a moment of awareness so that when the divine is trying to connect with us, we know what that sensation is.
Yeah.
And begin to call the divine energy in to start clearing and balancing your energy system and bringing it into the third eye, into your sixth chakra, and really allowing all of your thoughts, ideas, patterns, beliefs to just gently and calmly come to a steady lull. We want to bring all the energy into this moment. And to do that, begin by releasing all the things that you've held on to in the past. Things you would like to do over, things that you wish you could have done differently, things that you don't understand that happen. Just acknowledge that energy is being there, but right in this moment, we're just going to focus on our breathing and our heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good, good. And now we're going to bring all of the energy we've stretched into the future, all the things we're worrying about, our to-do lists, all the things that need to get accomplished, and just gently bringing them back into this moment. They will all be there when we're done. But for right this moment, this time is just for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And let go of all of the holiday stuff attached to it as well. There's a whole bunch of holiday things that are popping through. So take a deep breath and know that the holidays aren't going anywhere without you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And now we're going to open up all the channels and pathways of communication with our spiritual team, because they don't communicate with us in just one way. So opening up all the ways that we can receive messages, and all of our senses, not just our sixth sense, but our five senses as well, are an indicator of energy coming in
Yeah.
to be interpreted, and really expand our spiritual perception so that we can see and experience all of the energy and come to a higher vibration of knowing when we make our choices and our decisions and take action
Yeah.
and even our reactions,
Yeah.
and opening our eyes so we can see fully what is in front of us, not just what we wish to see or want to see,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the communication that happens with others through body language and things that we don't process sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moving the energy to open our ears more fully so we can hear what others are saying, we can hear the messages that are coming through from our team, and we can be heard when we are stating what we want, what we need, what we desire,
Yeah.
especially when we're talking from our authentic truth.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And now really open up your throat chakra and all the energy in that container so that you have room for your self-expression, your authentic truth to be spoken, and it allows you to be your own unique self.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're each a divine spark of the universe, but we have our own unique flavor, our own unique way of being that spark, being that flame.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And releasing the energy in the back of the neck where you're holding on to stress and tension,
Yeah. Yeah.
in ways you've held back from speaking your truth and expressing yourself, worried about what other people might think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or worried a little bit too much about being nice. A lot of good girl energy in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are always ways to speak your truth from a place of kindness and open-heartedness.
Yeah. Yeah.
There, you got that on. And now releasing all the stress and the tension on your shoulders, all the burdens and responsibilities you've been carrying for yourself and for others, and releasing the resentment attached to any energy that you chose to carry for someone else. If you can't hand it back to them, then releasing the anger and the resentment around saying yes when you meant no.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And releasing the self-blame around you should have known better or you should have done it differently. All those shoulds need to leave your shoulders. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And moving down into your lungs and just making room for all the divine breath to come in, to release any energy that you've been holding on to, afraid to live your life fully or to enjoy life fully. Some of you have been only using like a third of your lungs to breathe. And when you do that, you miss out on all the joy and all the wonderment that's in the other 2/3 of your lungs. So really allow that divine breath and oxygen to go in and replace all that stuck old energy.
God,
So we don't have to have pneumonia or bronchitis to try to get it out.
God,
'Tis the season.
God, God,
Good.
God,
And moving into your heart and really allowing any old sadness, disappointment, and grief to pull through and to wash away.
God,
And remember that all emotions are valid and are meant to be felt. And it's okay to have sadness and grief and disappointment.
yeah,
And let's release the piece of shame and blame that's attached to some of that. Because that's from your inner critic. That's not from the divine. That's not in authentic truth. That's in made up ego truth. So just release that.
God, God, God,
And let's connect with our inner child in the upper right chamber of our heart and really give the child space to stretch and grow so that they can play and remind us how to have fun and see the beauty in everything around us.
God, 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 God,
And moving down into the lower right chamber of your heart and connecting to the inner adult and giving the adult a moment to release all the doing. This is a time of year where we sometimes get very caught in a lot of doing, to the point where the adult within us begins to feel exhausted, overwhelmed, stressed out. And then our child throws a little hissy fit and a tantrum, and we are unable to do what we need to do. Just really allowing that to
God,
release from the adult and give them a moment of just being.
God, God,
And moving into the lower left chamber of the heart and connecting to the inner warrior, that part of us that is here to advocate and take action on our spiritual mission and our purpose, the part that is here to keep us safe and defend us. And right this moment, it's not needed. So give the warrior just a couple of moments of simply being as well.
God,
Because you are very safe in your sacred container right now.
God, 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 God,
A lot of warrior energy going on. So take a couple of deep breaths and just notice whether your warrior energy is in this present moment, or is it just activated still from your past? Or is it activated because of a possibility in your potential future?
God, God,
If it's not in this moment now, it can release.
Got it. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And now connecting to your upper left chamber of your heart and your inner sage, the elder that you've carried with you each and every lifetime, who holds all of the wisdom of the ages that you've ever accumulated. And by opening the connection and the communication, you open the pathway for your own inner knowing.
Got it.
The answer can just drop in when you need it, if you have already learned it in some other lifetime.
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
And moving down into your third chakra, just below your rib cage, to the solar plexus, and really opening space for your inner fire to burn gently. Because when our fire is in balance, we have the desire to move through things and get things done, but we also have the passion that we need to do our mission and our purpose. And then it allows us to release any anxiety, any stress, any frustration that we may be carrying.
Got it. Yeah.
Any fear related to our past or possible future.
Got it. Yeah.
And let's dissipate some of the anger that's in there. Because when we hold on to anger beneath our fire, when we go to express anger, it turns into that volcano. Right? I call that projectile anger. Ooh, hit the spot for somebody. That's very true for someone. Good, good, good. That anger doesn't have to come out in hateful words. It can come out when you take action for yourself in your power. There you go. So notice if you have thoughts that are spinning right this moment, especially around doubt. There you go. When we have doubt, that is not coming from source. There is no doubt from Creator. Doubt is always our ego. It's always the inner critic. So holding your anger actually fuels illness within your body. It is the fuel behind cancer. It is the fuel behind Lyme disease, behind fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, anything to do with an autoimmune disease. It all has anger behind it that hasn't been dealt with or expressed and is fueling the dis-ease in our body.
Yeah.
So trust me, it's not worth holding on to.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That volcano is a tough one, guys, for a lot of people. Whether you hold it within you or you go into fear mode when somebody else is holding it within them near you and you sense their volcano.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job. All right, moving down into the second chakra, just below your belly button, and really moving any of your water energy, bringing it into balance so there's an even ebb and flow, which in relationships is a giving and a receiving.
Yeah.
When we overgive or we over receive, then our water becomes out of balance.
Yeah.
And we all know what happens on Grandmother Earth when there are floods of too much water and when there are droughts of too little. So by bringing it back into perfect balance, it allows all the emotions to flow. It allows our relationships to be full and be open.
Yeah.
And this is where we do all our creation energy, creating wonderful new things, ideas.
Yeah.
And remember the energy in here, the big energy that's been up on the planet has been the addiction energy in that second chakra. And addictions come when we're out of balance. We're not in an even exchange with something, whether it's alcohol or drugs or food or computer time.
Yeah.
And it always happens when we're trying to suppress some sort of feeling, right? So just give yourself a little space to feel just a little bit more without worry.
Yeah.
Boy, my spiritual team wants to name names right now, but I'm not going to. But you know who you are.
Yeah.
Good. And now moving down into your first chakra, right below your tailbone, and really clearing away any additional energy related to your family, your tribe of origin, your safety, your security, your job,
Yeah.
finances. There's a lot of money energy going on right now. Remember that when you believe that there isn't enough, then that's what you create. So if you feel like there's a lack, there will be.
Yeah.
But if you believe without doubt that everything will be fine and taken care of, it is.
Yeah.
That's all your inner critic. All the doubt, again, removes you from source, removes you from creator when you have doubt.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's just open the energy in your hips too, so that everything is open to happen for you in your spiritual and your physical life. Because sometimes we get a little lopsided. Our energy flows one way and not the other, but we're meant to walk the path with both legs.
Yeah.
And we're going to invite all the energy to release down into the earth. And it's going to go way down. So imagine roots or cords that are connecting you all the way to the very center, to the heartbeat of Grandmother Earth, that molten lava core. So it goes through your floor and the foundation of the building you might be in. It goes through layers of dirt and rock and crystal, past fossils and dinosaur bones and ancient civilizations, all the way to the very center. And it's going to be composted and returned to its original creation energy. So the more that you're willing to let go of and send back to Creator, the more room you have for amazing new things to come in your life.
God.
And now we're going to ask the earth, grandmother, to send her energy up through all the layers to begin to fill in all the nooks and crannies where we release any energy. You may feel it as warmth or heat, or as almost like mud coming in and filling in. And it's coming up your feet and your legs. And as it fills your legs, it gives you a nice, sturdy foundation, a grounded place for you to take root and allow it to fill your whole pelvic floor like this giant bowl, creation energy for you to tap into whenever you need it. And let it fill your spine, giving you support in everything that you do and who you be. And bring it up through your belly, giving your organs a chance to rest and recalibrate so they don't have to work so hard for you.
God. God. Yeah.
Yep. Make sure you get in that liver and the spleen, as well as your stomach and your kidneys.
God.
And then bringing it up into your rib cage, filling your lungs and your heart. And as you fill your heart, I love to think about the Grinch and the heart growing 3 sizes. And you can allow extra energy to move into your heart to fill you with even more love and even more compassion for yourself and for others.
God.
There's plenty of room. There you go. And allow that energy to overflow down your shoulders into your arms and hands so that you are giving and receiving love fully and bringing it up through your throat and your neck, supporting your authentic truth from being spoken, and just allowing all of the places around your brain and all those beautiful glands that work so hard for you, helping you with your intuition and your connection.
God. God.
And allowing it to go all the way up to the top of your head and begin to overflow down around you. And as it does that, like a giant fountain, it begins to restore and repair your aura in all its layers. Remembering that our aura is our personal bubble, and it's also our immune system. So we want that nice and sturdy and strong to keep all of that energy out that we don't want to absorb, all those germs that we don't want to absorb. And working through our aura in the physical layer first, because that's the one closest to our body. Remembering that it's also behind our back, especially between our shoulder blades. And behind the neck a little bit too. And moving into the second layer, into the emotional layer. especially repairing in front of our heart. A lot of people are feeling wounded emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moving into the third layer, where all our mental thoughts are and our beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And into the fourth layer, our spiritual layer, that helps us connect to our team and the divine. The fourth dimension. Can't reach the fourth dimension with tears in the first three.
Yeah.
And then reaching out to our past lives and our karmic debt. And allowing space and energy for repairing to happen there. So take a couple of deep breaths and bring yourself back into your awareness here. You're going to want to maybe rub your legs,
Yeah.
wiggle your hands and feet, stretch and yawn if you need to. And just really come back to the present moment. And just notice how you feel in this moment. Is your breathing easier? Do you have less pain? Are you calmer? And whatever you need to happen can happen when we're doing the healing. Most of the time, most people feel more relaxed, which is nice because then we can have a good night's sleep tonight. All right, so we're going to start reading the cards. And again, I'm using this Spirit Oracle deck. This is Tony Salermo. And these have a message on the front and the back. So I will keep the card up so I can read the message on the back. And then I will add to it what my team has in store for you. So if you would like a card drawn for you, make sure to say yes, please, or card. And I will call them in the order that they were asked for. So hold on and know that I will get to you. I don't stop until everyone's card is read. So don't worry about the time or anything like that. I will make sure to read them. And I think that's it. Oh, and if you could like and share this broadcast again before I forget, and get this out there in Facebook land, because this is how we can heal the planet, is if we each take time to heal ourselves, then we can shine our light the way we're meant to. So thank you guys in advance for helping out with that. All right, so let me see who's first. So Esperanza, I don't have your little thing up, but you messaged me earlier today. So your card is Divine Will. Sorry, there's a little glare on that. Not sure if I can switch it, but there you have it. So it says, your life is unfolding in accordance with the divine will of your soul. Trust, let go of fear and apprehension. You are protected and eternally blessed. Have patience, all manifests in perfect timing. So Esperanza, you are in third chakra with the school, yes? So the first time that you travel through third chakra in an aware state, you get to see what's hidden in there in terms of, what we stuffed in the corners of that energy. And in that space, as things unfold, you get to see them, you get to experience them. But as that happens, we sometimes worry that it's happening in the moment. When we have triggered energy, it's always from the past. If it's not in front of your face, it's in the past. And even if it is in front of your face, if you feel like a volcano when it's not warranted, that also has energy from the past. So a lot of things are unfolding for you right now. And patience is one of the hardest things to do in third chakra because of all that fire energy. And so lots of times that is part of the test of learning how to hold your warrior in check and have that fire burning, but to not react, to breathe and take decisive action that is from your heart's truth, not from your fear place. Does that make sense? All right. So let's see who's next. All right, so I'm going to start with Julie. So Julie, your card is free will. The answer to your question is no. Yet remember that you have free will. You are free to make your own decisions. Just remember that you need to take responsibility for any choice you make. Meditate and see what your heart says. So lots of times we make unreasonable demands on our spiritual team. We want them to fix things for us rather than going through it the hard way. There's a reason we go through things the hard way, because we haven't learned our lesson. But when we honor the lessons that we're learning, we actually get to move through it more quickly. So you can't make demands on your spiritual team that aren't in alignment with your soul's growth. So they're not your servants. Does that make sense? They're here to guide you on your spiritual mission. So when you meditate on this and look into your heart, when the truth comes out of your heart, it doesn't come out as a demand. It says, hey guys, I need help with this. Can you show me a way to help me with this? That's a very different thing than saying, I want this done by 3 o'clock tomorrow. Not going to happen. You know how it is when somebody demands something unreasonable of you. You lock your arms, you cross your legs, and you're like, not happening. That's how it is, because it's all meant to happen in perfect divine timing. So the answer is in your heart. And if it's has doubt attached to it, it's not connected to source. So make sure that whatever you're asking for and however you're asking it of your team, can't quite get that wording out, that it's from your heart space, because then it's heard and delivered quickly. But when it's from your ego, not so much. Okay? All right. Meditate on it. All right, Rob, see what yours is. Emotions. Good card for you. You are awash with unexpressed emotions. Say exactly what you feel. It is safe for you to speak your truth. That second chakra water energy, all that emotions, and all the ways that fuels our behaviors. Hint, hint. This is where addiction energy is located. So when we don't express those hidden emotions, then we have to try to stuff them somehow. So it might be with a good Ben and Jerry's ice cream, or something like that. But that's still not a great coping mechanism. So giving yourself space to feel your emotions when you're actually feeling them, knowing that they're simply the radar that something is up, somebody's crossed a boundary with you, something isn't in alignment with yourself. And if you have any negative self-talk attached to it, it's not coming from source. It's not coming from the creator. So remember that, your spiritual team, when they're speaking to you, it's very precise and it's not long-winded and there's not a lot of explanations. It's very much to the point. They don't need words, and the way they communicate is through our emotional channels. So when we stuff our emotions, we actually can't hear all the messages that are coming through from our team. So think about ways to bring your water and your emotions out gently in a safe container. And if you need help with that, reach out to me, because that's part of what I do. Help people feel their feelings so that they can heal what's underneath. Okay? All right. So who is next? Mary. I just love that picture. I just want to, they, our lipstick matches. All right, Mary. Your card is joy. Woohoo! This is Kuan Yin. Love and compassion, a time of healing. You are being showered with love and light. Accept this gift. A newfound joy for life will replace your sadness. Nice. So whenever Kuan Yin comes in to bring joy, remind us how to bring joy back into our lives, it's always this, I see her scooping up our inner child and giving them nuzzling and then like letting them run free, right? Like when you see somebody like scoop up a child who's wounded and like gives them all these kisses so that it takes their mind off their fall that they just had. And then the next thing they're off and running and they've forgotten all about it. That's what I'm seeing for you. So you're being sort of scooped up and held by Kuan Yin and given some mama kisses. And then go express your joy. I mean, what a perfect time of year to tap into your joy. What brings you excitement? This time of year, we can make creative gifts for other people. We can decorate, we can bake, we can sing, we can dance, like everything's on the table in the holidays. So bring out your joy and let it be expressed. My uncle this year made everybody homemade holiday cards. His inner child needed to make them, like with construction paper and glitter and all this stuff. And he was like, I don't know what came over me. I needed to make these. And we were all so excited because none of us had gotten a homemade card in eons, since elementary school. And I'm one of the young ones, so that tells you how many. So do something that brings you joy and that you can share your joy with others. Thanks, Mary. All right, let's see. Who's next? Joanne. All right, my dear. Yours is forgiveness. Time to heal old wounds. Time to let go and forgive. Do not allow yourself to be a victim any longer, for in doing so, you only hurt yourself. Forgive and set yourself free. You are eternally loved. Accept the love being offered and allow it to heal you. So forgiveness, when that card comes up, there's a compression on our heart energy. We feel a heaviness in our heart. And often there's blame or shame attached to it. But blame and shame aren't part of the divine energy whatsoever. So when you're being called to do forgiveness, sometimes it's really hard to forgive somebody else for something they did. But we can forgive our end of the exchange. We can forgive ourselves for putting ourselves in that situation for it to happen, or we can forgive ourselves for not knowing sooner that that was where the energy was going. And that may sound easier said than done, which it is. But remember that, if you think back to who we were in the beginning, when we came out as little babies, we were just little bundles of joy, right? There was nothing to really forgive. There wasn't anything to forgive. We were just beings. And the crying was just because we were wet or we were hungry or we were tired, but not because we were sad and our feelings were hurt. So move into your heart space and see ways that you could start to forgive yourself, because then you are able to share forgiveness with other people. Sometimes we can say intellectually, this is what I'm hearing, we can say we forgive somebody else, but underneath, there's still some judgment or resentment that is hanging out there, and we haven't really forgiven. Because if we've forgiven that other person, we've also forgiven ourselves. So remember, our relationship is give and take. So you got to heal both ends of the connection. Does that make sense? Not just one side. All right. Hope that helps, Joanne. Rochelle. Ooh, fun. Your card is Karma. Someone from the past reemerges in your life. This gives you the opportunity to handle things differently than you did before. Stand firmly in your power, yet stand also in the light of love. The universe is presenting you with a fresh opportunity to clear away any lingering karma linked to this relationship. So what I'm feeling or sensing is somebody who is close to you. I don't know if it's family or just a really tight friend that was like family at one time. But, we can avoid someone because that's the best thing in the moment. Like that's the healthiest thing for both people, is to step away. When the divine represents someone in our lives, it means it's time for us to take a second look, and it's time for us to heal some piece of it. And my theory on that is I want to take care of all the karmic debt that I can this time around. I don't want to come in my next lifetime and have a laundry list of things that I was afraid to deal with in this lifetime. So if I've got an opportunity to clear my karma with someone, even if it's saying, I'm sorry that things went the way they did, but I hope that your life is, in a more wonderful place because we took the time to separate, and mean it, because maybe your life's in a better place as well. And don't assume the person is the same as they were before, because we change every single minute of every single day. So nobody is exactly the way we remember them, because we freeze them in our memory like a snapshot. And, I reconnected with somebody from high school. So she had a snapshot of me from the last time she saw me, and couldn't understand how that girl who was a dancer, cheerleader, straight A student went from that to being a healer, psychic, teacher. How did you get there from here? And I'm like, I don't know, I just did. Right? But it was for her, she couldn't see how that growth could happen. But then when I looked at her, it was like, well, of course, I could see the college education and how it shifted her, how her being married and having children shifted her, how her work life had shifted her. So she wasn't that teenage girl anymore. So sometimes that happens when we end something, maybe not on the best of terms, and then we run into each other. All of a sudden, that old anger is brought up. It's not in the moment. It's not now, and you don't have to hold your end of it. And that's how you let the karma go. They don't have to let go of their end. You just have to let go of yours. So notice if that happens for you. And the holidays are the perfect time because people come home who haven't been around for a while. You run into them at the grocery store, and you have an opportunity to shift and heal. All right? Cool. All right, let's see who's next. Anne. Well, we got a Kuan Yin thing going on tonight. Here's Kuan Yin again. She's saying, enjoy the journey of life. Be not afraid of its mysteries. Take a chance and follow your heart. You are guided and protected by Kuan Yin, goddess of mercy, compassion, and transformation. If you have been wavering about proceeding with something that is dear to you, then this is your confirmation. Just do it. Nice. So Kuan Yin in this card is actually connecting to us through our intuition. In the other card, she was connecting to us in our heart. So the first one was in the heart chakra. Kuan Yin's connecting to you through your intuition. And so in this one, it's saying, basically, it's time for you to take action. You've been, thinking about it, whatever it is. And there comes a point in time when it's time to stop thinking. When we start to take action, yes, things are going to happen and we're going to have to modify and shift and move things. But when you're frozen in the thinking, because that's what I'm seeing, frozen in the thinking and the planning and the getting it ready, and if I just do one more thing. I have a very dear friend of mine who's had this beautiful dream of having a retreat center for women and all sorts of different gatherings for them to come and do healing work. Week-long retreats, weekend retreats, all based on different areas of life that women in particular have to heal. I've known her now for, I guess it's 4 years, and she's had that dream for years before that, but ever since I've known her. And it's always in the planning. And there's never any action steps that are moving her forward in the doing. Like even just creating a website, even if the place doesn't exist yet, you can have a name and make a website coming soon, right? Because it sets the intention with the universe. And then they know you're serious and will actually get to work for you, your spiritual team. So when it's all spinning in your head, your team can't work on it. It's got to get down on paper and you need to take some action. And they're telling you, Kuan Yin is saying she's right behind you. So who better to have love and compassion and support from the goddess energy? The divine feminine has your back. Don't think you need anybody else with that in your spiritual team. So just do it, please, because we need it, whatever it is. All right? Thank you, dear. Crystal. Aw, thank you. Beautiful lady. Ooh, this is a pretty card. I don't remember drawing this in a while. So this is Angel Over Me. This is a protection card. Angel wings surround you. Trust. Replace fear with love. You are eternally held safe within the arms of an angel. And I love this because the person in the drawing, I don't know if you can, I think you can probably see there's no clothes on because they're completely vulnerable. When someone is standing naked, it's because they're being completely vulnerable. And so she's sort of down on her knees, and yet in the down on her knees, the angel is over and protecting and not allowing any energy to come in and giving space for the person to lift themselves up. So this is a chance for you to step into your own power. And to step into our power source is in that third chakra, in that fire energy. And when we take out the fear and we take out the anger, then that fire can burn into what we're meant to take action on. So this is a card to lift you up and allow you to stand firmly in your own power. And when you do that, the whole time, like I would not believe the wings I'm feeling behind my back and around me. Feels very Metatron because it's very, very hot. So there's this huge amount of angel energy that's surrounding you, enveloping you, and there's nothing that can go wrong. So when we're in fear, we're usually doubting things, or, we don't feel worthy. That's the thing I'm hearing. You are worthy, you are deserving, and there's no reason to doubt because you are stepping in who you're meant to be. And any chatter that says differently, that's your inner critic. Treat them like a separate person, somebody that you smile and nod at, but that you don't actually listen to. Okay? Because that's not you, that's not your truth, and that's not your team. Whew, and really call on the archangels, because I think it's Metatron, but boy, they're really hot. And their wings are huge, like huge, huge, huge. So call on them because they're right there with you. All right, let's see who's next. Jill. No worries. You're welcome. So your card, my dear, is Dreaming of You. Someone you love will appear to you in your dreams. They reflect a part of you, a time of remembrance, a time of reflection and healing. The neat thing about relationships with other people is they're always meant to teach us something about ourselves. So if when somebody shows up in your dream time, it's a reminder of a piece of you that you have forgotten, haven't connected with. If we don't like something about someone else, it's because that part is hidden inside of us and we don't like it about ourselves. That's what they talk about in terms of a mirror. But this is just a reminder of, for you, how much your team talks to you in dream time. I'm getting sort of this wagging finger. You're not acknowledging all of the messages that are coming through to you in dream time, my dear. They're very, very important. And if you're not going to connect to your team in dream time like they're trying to, then you're going to need to do some journeying because it flows through on a similar frequency and vibration. All right. So this is really crucial for you because there's something here that's ready to heal. And I think it's connected to family, but I'm not sure. It's somebody who's as close as family. You would have thought of them as family if they're not. All right. So pay attention tonight because it's probably going to be tonight that you hear it. All right. Let's see. All right, Margaret, your card is Holiday. I love this mermaid. The spirit of the ocean calls you, offering healing and much needed peace. Come to the water and connect with this endless flow of magic. You need a change of scenery. Take a holiday and all will fall into place. So this card has been pretty clear most of the time when I get it. It's literal. You need to get to some water and you need to take a vacation of some sort. And if there's water near you, great. But this means taking a couple of days. If our team is telling us we need a holiday, we need a vacation, and we don't do it and we don't set that up, then they put us down. And what I mean by that is they give us a reason to have to stay in bed and take care of ourselves, like we get a cold or we get an injury. And I think it's much more fun to have a few days vacation than to spend a few days in the hospital. Just me saying, I would rather choose it that way. So I invite you to get to the water. I'm not sure where you are in the country, so I don't know the closest water for you, but that is saying get to the water and take a couple days. And even if you just build it into your plans in the near future, my team is saying you have no more than a month. So good luck with that. Maybe you could compromise and have an ocean machine going while you take a couple days for a staycation. But I don't know, I'm seeing pretty big water. All right, good luck, sweetie. Take a vacation. I don't want to hear about you being sick. All right, who's next? Jackie. All right, your card is soulmate. Love, partnership, magnetic attraction between two people. Union. You develop a deep sense of self through a relationship with another. So when a soulmate card shows up, soulmates can be romantic relationships, or they can be like our soul family. But this is a relationship where you're going to step into yourself in a full way, like step into your soul. Soul relationships are easy initially. You feel like you've known them forever and ever, and it takes no time to feel comfortable with them. But they're here to teach us the biggest lessons, because we only trust our soulmates to give us those tough lessons. Does that make sense? So, it's me dinging. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's going off, because it shouldn't be. Everything's turned off. You know how that is, but it's Mercury, so. So with your soulmate, it can be a romantic relationship. It absolutely can be. But I have my soul tribe, my sisters, right? Who I know we've been relatives in other lifetimes. And they're here to help me learn my lessons as well. So this is a unique opportunity for you to step into this new relationship without pretending to be somebody else. So I'm encouraging you to not put on any of your masks. We all have masks that we put on when we meet people for the first time. I put on my teacher mask, or my healer mask, or my mom mask, or my feminine mask, rather than presenting myself sometimes in uncomfortable situations that, especially if you're in a big group or something like that where you get nervous, you sometimes, put this shield up of who you are rather than just being yourself. And that's usually happens when we're worried about the other person's opinion or that they're going to judge us. But guess what? If you go into a relationship just as you and they don't like you, good, you found out, right? And then you don't waste time. And then you don't have those conversations of, you're not who I thought you were, because you weren't pretending. And if you show up that way, open and yourself, your soulmate does too. And that's really cool. And have fun with that, because soulmate energy is really awesome. All right. Who's next? My godmother. Woohoo! Hi, Carol. Oh, I love that picture of you and Brian. All right. Sexy card for you. So this is good news. Good news is coming your way. Something beautiful is about to manifest. Feelings of elation like you're on a cloud. It's time to celebrate all the wonder and beauty in your life. Woohoo! I love this card for you. It's perfect for the holiday season. It feels like something near and dear to you is going to unfold. Like someone's going to move close to you, or you're going to get to see someone that you haven't seen in a long time. But it's very much like something that really fills you up with joy. I just see that. your inner child, like so excited, getting to play with someone you haven't seen in a while, or getting to do something you haven't done, or go on a vacation somewhere new that you've never been, maybe. But it's about to happen within the next 2 weeks, is what I'm hearing. All right, and say hi to Brian for me. Hi, Minnie. Ah, Christos. You are eternally loved and held within the palm of creation. Feel my presence beside you, my dear friend, for I am always with you. You are always in my heart. My goodness, my dear. Can't have much better than that. So don't be afraid to, sometimes we're afraid to call on the Christ energy to help us, to surround us, and to be with us on what we're working on, or how we're living our lives. Sometimes we pray for something in particular, but we don't necessarily ask for, a support team, or we worry about, well, if we ask for something trivial, then maybe somebody else is missing out. The Christ energy can be anywhere and everywhere in every moment of every day, and there is never anybody who would go without. So remember to call on that energy, because Christ energy helps expand our compassion and our unconditional love in a very unique way in our heart center, and our high heart. And it actually brings our two hearts to merge as one. So call on that, and feels very much like you anyway. So just remember that. Maybe sometimes we get a little down and we need that extra boost. All right. Violet. Your card, Violet, is inspiration. Your love, light, and wisdom touch the hearts and minds of many. You will be instrumental in helping another person change the course of their life. Miracles, inspiration, and healing result. Nice. There are times that part of our soul mission is to guide and help somebody else. We become a messenger for that particular person, and that's what's coming up for you right now. Sometimes we don't feel worthy of that position, but we never really know how we impact somebody else. I was a dance teacher for many, many years, and I used to run into people all the time in the grocery store who had me as a teacher when I was like 16 or 17, and would tell me how I said one particular thing that they still remember, and it got them through a tough time. I don't even remember saying it to them. Does that make sense? But it shifted something for them. When you see something in somebody else and you point it out, like, you would be a wonderful healer, a wonderful teacher. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with your next piece of art. You don't realize that you inspired them to create something, or to change something, or to step more fully on their own path. So this is where you're being called. And the healing is for you and the other person. Because when we help somebody on their spiritual path, it fills us as well as it fills them. And we feel more like we have purpose. And it brings joy to both of us. So I love that healing exchange that's about to happen for you. Lovely. All right, let's see who's next. Roberta. Your card, my dear, is reflection. Reflect upon, bless, and be grateful for all the beautiful times in your life. Give thanks for the many blessings you receive each day. You can connect energetically to those that you love. Simply feel So I know we cut out here for a second, so I'm going to just reread that for you, Roberta. So this is the reflection card, and it says, reflect upon, bless, and be grateful for all the beautiful times in your life. Give thanks for the many blessings you receive each day. You can connect energetically to those that you love. Simply feel them inside your heart. Life is beautiful. So reflection card is the card that says it's time to go inward. It's time for you to be in a place where you are connected to your inner self. I guess that's the way they want me to say that. So when you listen to your higher self and you listen to who you are and you connect to all that is, when we make our choices and our decisions, we do so from a place of love, compassion, understanding. And so this card is also telling you that when you use your heart in this way, you can connect to anyone that you are connected to simply by feeling their presence in your heart. And believe it or not, that's basically how healers who are gifted at distance healing do it, because we connect to you through the universal heart, because we're all one in that space. And you can feel or sense or know that there's an energy exchange of unconditional love that's flowing between you when you feel them in your heart. And that also helps you raise the vibration of your relationships when you move it into your heart space and out of the ego fear space in your belly. Because if we worry about somebody or we doubt what they're saying, we're not in love, we're in fear. Because there's really only two emotions, love and fear. So if it's not love, it's fear. So this is just reminding you to go into your heart and connect in that feeling space from there. And then you will be in your authentic truth, and so will they. All right? It shifts the entire vibration when you raise yours up. All right. Nice job, sweetie. All right, let's see who's next. Carol. Love your card. It's healing. Healing, positive transformation is occurring on a soul level. The answer to your question is yes. So the healing card comes in, and I don't know if you saw, there's lots of hearts in all the rays around the sun. And this is love radiating outward. So it's very similar to the card before yours in terms of you want to be in your heart space first and then send healing energy outward. And when you take action from your heart space, then everything is lined up with your soul and the soul of the people around you. It's in the highest vibration that it can be in. And when we do that, it heals any self-doubt, any self-esteem issues that we have. It releases any doubt, any blame, any worry, any shame. And so it sends healing out when we shift our focus. So simply focus on being in your heart and healing from there. And then the rest will follow. Yeah, that's the big one for you. And just remember that the love and the heart and the healing energy radiate out from your eternal flame. And we all have it. It hasn't gone out. All right. And Mitchell. Nope, that is not Mitchell's card. This is Mitchell's card. Mitchell, your card is honesty. Love, compassion, and truth will heal the present situation. Be honest with yourself. Discover what it is that you truly desire, then speak your truth clearly. Always speak with love and compassion, and know that the truth will never harm anyone when spoken from a place of love. This is so, so true. When we speak our authentic truth, it starts in our heart and then it comes through our throat. When we just say what we're reacting to, it comes from our belly and then comes from our heart, through our throat. So when it comes out of our heart and you speak it, even when we have to say something that's difficult, the person who's hearing it will understand that it's your truth and that you're saying it with kindness. Because not everything people say they're going to like, like there are times we have to say no when somebody wants us to say yes. There are times we're going to say, I don't like that, when somebody else loves it. But when we're saying it from our truth, they're not going to take it personally and their feelings aren't going to get hurt. So you have this big heart that you don't want to hurt anyone else's feelings. So make sure, sweetie, that you really take the opportunity to be truthful with your words, because nobody wants to take advantage of your good-naturedness. And so when you tell them that you don't like something or that you don't want to do something, don't worry, their feelings aren't going to be hurt. They're actually going to be thankful that you told them the truth. Okay? All right. Michelle, your card is guidance. Release the past to the eternal winds and allow new energies to enter your life. You are a creation that is vast and endless, with no beginning and no end. Allow your life to flow like a river. The spirit of life will guide you and keep you safe. This is really cool because your team is guiding you to use your elements to release your old energy that you've been holding on to. So you can actually take that quite literally. You can ask the eternal winds to blow away anything that no longer serves you. You can ask the eternal water to wash away anything that no longer serves you. You can ask the eternal earth to compost and release anything that no longer serves you. Can you feel that energy, how that can work for you? So you are very connected to the earth energy. And when you are trying to create something new or you're trying to get through something difficult, call in the elements. Okay? So earth, water, fire, air are the big ones for you. Some people call in, the energy of the divine after that, but I'm feeling like those 4 elements are your strongest ones to call in. And yes, you can call in fire energy because sometimes it needs to be burned away to the ashes, so then the ashes can return to the earth. There's a purification that happens when we use the elements to heal ourselves. So this is calling on you to do some purifying of old energy that you've held on to. And old energy are thoughts, beliefs, ideas, patterns, trauma, and emotions. All of those things are together, ready to go. Okay? All right, my dear. Andrew. Nice to see you, dude. Your card is Aura of Love. The union of light and dark, of earth and sky, balancer of anima and animus, the merger of 2 souls. Acknowledge the masculine and feminine aspects of yourself, both yin and yang, to create a perfect balance. So you've done some of the energy medicine schools, so I'm reminding you, what they're showing me for your yin yang. So number one, masculine, feminine energy. We hold both. We hold the divine feminine. We hold the divine masculine. Sometimes we get caught up in accessing one more than the other, but when we are in sync, they're both in balance. So the feminine aspect of you is reminding you to feel your way through things. And the masculine aspect is reminding you how to take action while you're actually feeling those feelings. The other piece that's coming in is remember that this is also the right and the left side of your body. So, if you're having aches and pains on one side of your body, hint, hint, then that is the side where the energy is stuck and not moving. So if you're having pain down the left side of your body, your feminine energy is not flowing fully. And if it's down the right, it's your masculine. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head. I know you learned that, but sometimes we forget it. And also the left side of the body is our spiritual path and the right side is our physical path. So feminine, left with our spirit, right? And masculine with our physical on the right. Okay? So it's all of those aspects of yourself coming into balance in that yin yang. And when you do that, your high heart and your regular heart come into balance as well, and they create that yin yang energy within you. All right. Christine. Woohoo! You got the passion card. Love, sexual energy, passions aroused, vital life force, kundalini, the sun, giver of life, strength, a gift, new infusion of energy, something beyond your control, and surrender. Steamy, steamy. This is good. Sexual energy is connected to our creation energy. When we expand our sexuality, we expand our spirituality. They're not separate. They're the same. We just talked about the divine feminine energy being half of our body. So if we're not expanding who we are as a sexual being, we're not expanding who we can be as a spiritual being. So this is about exploring and igniting all of the ways that desire stirs in your body. And that desire goes right into creation energy. It goes right into abundance. And when the kundalini energy flows, it's the two snakes that come up through our energy system and they weave through our chakras and they weave through in a balanced way. When that happens, it opens up our third eye in a more complete and full way. It's like it pops. Normally the intuition, the third eye will sort of blink. You've got these little tiny blinking. When the kundalini activates and works its way through, the eye opens almost like you become awake. You're not walking around in the sleep anymore. So remember that all aspects of yourself are sacred, including your sexuality. Mother Mary had more children than Jesus. So if she could enjoy sex and there was no problem with that, so can you. Okay? I've had this conversation with her. She's like, I liked it. You get to like it too. So own it because it's where your feminine power is based. It's also where masculine power is based. When we're out of sync with that, we're out of sync with our spirit because we're meant to create. And that's how we create on this plane. Okay? All right. Thank you. We all needed that. All right, Barbie. Yesterday was your birthday. All right. And you want to know what the spirit has planned for you in the year ahead. So your card, my dear, is remembrance. Remember, the light within your heart is the same as the rays of the sun and the glow of the moon. The same energy that moves the ocean tides also stirs inside your heart. What is it that your heart truly desires? What have you not said to someone that you would like to say? Find and express your truth. Woohoo! So it looks like, dear, your new year is about really stepping into who you are. Really stepping into being your authentic self and finding all the juicy ways you're meant to express that. We sometimes hold ourselves back because we don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings, or we hold ourselves back in fear of what other people are going to think. But again, that's when we speak our truth. When we're out there and we're vulnerable as ourselves, then all the people around us are being invited to act and react in the same way. And this is a little outside your comfort zone, is what I'm feeling. It's time for you to step out of who you've been and step into who you be. Have a good year. Because it's time for you to be you. You've wasted a lot of time being who others wanted you to be. All right? Happy birthday. Lynn, your card, my dear, is instinct. Follow your natural instincts. You are making the current issue more complicated than it needs to be. Trust in the universe. Allow your intuition to guide you. You are always safe. Ooh, dear. Feeling a little spinning in the head, my dear. We all go through that, where we doubt ourselves, or we worry that it can't happen a particular way, or how am I going to make that happen, or spin, spin, spin. The mental part of you is taken over. And when that gets really noisy, we can't hear the messages from our spiritual team. And I use that term here in sort of a liberal sense, because it's that we can't receive and process and hold on to the messages our team give us. If we're off busy worrying about the thing in the future, we miss the numerology message that came in. I had a 2222 that showed up today at one point. And I was thinking about a particular thing. And I dropped everything and I looked up 2222 to see how it related to what I was thinking about. And it was like, crap. That's exactly what was going on. But guess what? It put me in the moment. It put me in the now. And then it allowed me to get out of the thinking and to find a way to take action. Because I could have stayed in that spinning and trying to come up with the idea. But my team flashed me the number to get me out of it. So if you're in that spinning mode, you lose the ability sometimes to get the message that comes through. So remember, in your intuition, your team is trying to get through to you. In your dream state, through numbers, through other people saying things, through the line in the song that gets stuck in your head, through the animals that you see when you're driving. It didn't go unnoticed to me that I had 9 turkeys walk through my backyard and then head down the goddess path. It was like, oh, yeah, okay. Some transformation needing to happen on my goddess path. Yeah, I get that. Thank you, right? Because if you don't pay attention, you miss those notices, okay? So that's what you need to do. That's what the instinct is. We all have it. Don't let anybody fool you. You got it. All right. Let's see. Hi, Jennifer. Nice to see you. Hope the girls are doing good. All right. So your card is silver vibrations. Your vibration is being raised to a higher level. You may be feeling that you are in this world, but somehow not of this world. This is the magic of creation at work in your life. As silver starlight enters your aura, your energy field is strengthened, giving you a clearer connection to spirit and revealing the greater purpose of your life. I love this card. We've used that terminology for a long time, right? The silver lining. So even when bad things happen, right? There's people talk about the silver lining. So that silver thread is the divine thread that's flowing through even difficult situations to give us some truth and some perspective and some ability to change. So this is just reminding you that, yeah, you've gone through some difficult changes or times where it's just been rough. But you went through those so that you could shift who you are being and that you could grow into the full version of Jen that you're meant to be. Lots of times when we're a mom, speaking from experience, we put our kids first for a long time. Not that that's a bad thing, but when we do that, they get to be a certain age and then we're like, wait a minute, who am I? Because I turned into somebody else's mom and not me. And then we freak out, right? So this is a chance for you to be Jen, not somebody's sister, not somebody's mother, not somebody's wife, but just Jen. And this is all, so through all of the negative things, there's this beautiful you that's going to be emerging. So I feel like 2019 is going to be this great, like, butterfly time for you. And let me know if I can help, okay? Nice. Yay! Look at yours, my dear Abigail. The flame of love. Allow the infinite power of love within you to radiate unconditionally in all directions. Yet stand tall in your sense of self, in your own truth. The healing power of love will help you burn through all illusion, and you will discover new possibilities. This is a powerful time of transformation, ideas, and creativity. This is the perfect card for you, dear, because we're just about to move into the heart energy where you soar and where your spirit is just excited to be. So in this place, it's like reminding you that your heart is where you do the most creation work, right? Your inner child, babe, right? She's the one who brings the magic and the joy and the love into your life and everybody's life around you. And if you forget how to connect to that, just take a look at your cute little Emrys there, right? Babies are such a good reminder of how to be in the joy and discovery of new things. He was so fun, slapping the floor and making noise when we were meditating, right? And how he was giggling because he was the center of attention. So how do you bring yourself to the center of attention and use that heart energy the way you are meant to? And get all the shoulding out of there. People telling you that, you're too happy or something must be wrong with you if you're too happy. That's a bunch of baloney because you have a lot of joy energy to spread. That's part of who you are. All right. Thank you, sweetie. Marilyn, your card, my dear, is regret. There is nothing sadder than looking back on some part of your life with regret, wondering what you could have done but did not. Go for it. Sometimes it is better to try and fail than not try at all. All is not lost. You still have time to turn this situation around. Let go of fear and apprehension and follow your heart. Nice card. When we get caught in remembering things with regret. We put a denseness, a heaviness on the energy, on the interaction, and on the relationship. And both people feel it. Both ends of the rope that connect the relationship feel the heaviness that's there with regret. And probably both of you have it. So when this card comes up to help you release regret, first of all, you want to open up your heart, forgive yourself, because it had to be done that way. It may not have been pretty. It may not have been how you wished you had done it. But when you spin away ways you could have done it differently, you're caught in the past. You're not in the moment. So when you can forgive yourself for not handling it the way you would have liked to, and give yourself space that you learned a lesson from it, and you have the chance to fix it. Not that it's broken, but you can change the way the energy was received for you and for the other person. And I feel like you just need to open up communication again and do it from your heart space. Because when we hold it all in, it burns in our belly and it just creates more stress and more anger. But when you can move it into your heart and just kind of find the love behind the hurt, we don't regret things with people that we don't care about. This is somebody who's near and dear to you, and it's worth a shot at opening up the communication with them so that you can at least know you did your best and you tried to fix the situation. Okay? Julie, your card is a place beyond time. Don't get so caught up in the everyday drama of life. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and allow it to carry you into a peaceful space inside your heart, an eternal place beyond time, filled only with love. I've been reading a really cool series of books based on the 4 agreements and the mastery of self. And the mastery of self, it's part of my curriculum for my 3rd year students. And the mastery of self is how to get your brain out of the spinning. When we have all these beliefs and patterns that we're attached to that don't work for us anymore, then it goes against our heart. It goes against our truth. When we're in full sync with a belief, it doesn't even really come up. But when it comes up, it doesn't really resonate for you. It may be what was true for your family. It may have been true for you up to a certain period of time. But maybe you've outgrown it. Maybe you have moved past it. And it's no longer true for you. That doesn't make it wrong. It just means right now it's not for you. So when we can get that out of our spinning thinking brain and we can put it in our heart and test out, is this true for me any longer? That's the big thing, that when you have a belief that comes up, check in with your heart and say, is this true for me? Or is this mine? Because lots of times it's not yours. You know, it's what your mom needed or what your teacher needed or what your religion needed. And maybe it's not in alignment with who you are and with your truth. Again, there's no right and wrong to it. It is just going into your heart space and saying, this is what I believe and this is how I feel. And whatever that is, it's yours. Nobody else's. So it's perfect. Okay? Tina. We're having a theme here. Speak your truth. Stand up for what you believe in, regardless of the consequences. Speak your truth no matter what others may think. It's time to stand in your own power for the whole world to see. Nice. So your authentic truth happens when you speak from your heart. You don't speak from a reaction. Somebody says something and you spew words back at them, that's a reaction. When somebody says something, you feel the truth of it, and then you answer from your heart, that's when you're speaking your truth. So I'm seeing this vision of you standing in your power. And it's something that gets taught to my students, believe it or not, in a section that we call Heal Your Money Energy with Ed Langen, who's going to be a new show host on Star Nations. Yay! I can't wait. And he does this really cool thing about standing in your power. So you stand up with your feet shoulder width apart. You put your hands on your hips. And you stand there with your hands on your hips for 2 minutes. Now, it may seem silly, but when you're standing there, say something that is difficult for you to say to yourself. I am worthy. I am enough. I am happy. I am abundant. I am a divine child of the universe, right? I am a sexy goddess. Whatever that hard thing is for you to say, and you stand there for 2 minutes, and you can say it a number of times over. When you do that, it actually is you're creating a circuit with your hands and your hips. Your hips is where abundance flows, and then it connects with your spiritual leg and your physical leg. So it allows you to walk your walk as well as talk your talk. Does that make sense? And all it takes is 2 minutes for the circuit to shift and move. I invite everybody to do that. It's a way to move through your stuff really quickly. And if you watch like football players, when they get winded, they put their hands on their hips. It helps them start breathing more quickly and get back in the game faster. And who doesn't want to get back in the game of life even faster? So give that a shot. All right. Cindy Lynn. Ooh, love that picture. It's beautiful. So your card is Heart's Desire. You are being showered with love. Your time of waiting will soon be over. All of your heart's deepest desires will be fulfilled. Nice. So you're finally in a place where you can create some abundance, where you can call into your life how you actually want your life to be. You don't have to react to what other people's idea of how your life should be. You can now live your life the way that you want to. And remember, when we create for ourselves, that we're allowed to make mistakes. And if you create something you don't like, create something different. But this really feels like you doing what you love to do, but also living where you feel safe and comfortable and loved and respected. I'm hearing loved and respected because that's a big thing for you. So make sure that as you create what your heart truly wants to have in this lifetime, that you remember it's based on love and respect for yourself first, and then you can share that with others. All right? Nice. Judy, your card is a message from afar. Message coming from afar. Expect positive and refreshing news, a great outcome for all. Nice. So, message from afar, often for me, is coming from spirit, is coming from somebody on the other side. And I'm not feeling me channeling like a message for you from somebody on the other side at the moment. I thought I might. That happens a lot with this card. Feels more like you might have it in dream time, or that something will come into your possession that is attached to somebody from the other side that will have an unexpected gift for you. So like for me, we went to visit my mother's relatives. And so I got the unexpected gift of learning something about one of my grandparents that is very attached to how I live my life now. And it allowed me to have a moment of knowing that they've been guiding me in a similar way. Even though I didn't know it was part of their journey, I got to find out about it without me having ever heard it, seen it, experienced it. And so that's the type of thing that can happen. It doesn't have to be a direct, somebody showing up to give you the message, but also be very aware of smells around you. Often when we connect to people, when people are on the other side trying to connect to us, especially family members, they will come in with a particular smell that triggers your memory of them. So like my grandmother has a powder she used to put on. It was one of those big powder puff things, and it had a particular smell. So when I smell that, I know it's her. When I smell these crazy meatballs, it's my one of my good friends. It's her mom, who's from Sicily, And if I smell Old Spice, it's my grandfather. If I smell a sweet cigar that has like an apple scent to it, that's my grandfather on my dad's side. So you get what I'm saying. You may smell something because there's a reason I'm saying that to you. So pay attention to what you smell in your surroundings as well. All right. Jacqueline, your card is positive outcome. There is hope. Don't give up now. Have faith, trust. The forces of love are at work behind the scenes. Expect a joyous and positive outcome. So when this comes up, we've got something that we've got brewing. And just a smidge of doubt creeps in. And this is telling you to not water the doubt. Don't feed it. Put it aside and go, thank you very much, but I'm not having doubt. When you have hope, I try to move hope out of the wishing energy. So when you wish for it, you keep it still a little farther away from you. I like to hold on to hope as a sensation of knowing that my spiritual team and the divine knows this is in my highest, best good. And that's what's going to show up. And it's going to show up in divine right timing. And when you hold on to that knowing part of you and get it away from the wishing and hoping, it happens much faster. But if there's a smidge of doubt, every little ounce of doubt keeps it a little farther away. Does that make sense? It slows its journey to you. Okay? So really go into a place of just knowing and releasing all the doubt. And it's going to be positive, so why doubt it? They're letting you know ahead of time it's going to happen. So let it go. All right, Deborah, your card is blessings. Blessings, you are being showered with light. Your creativity is being stirred, activated, set alight. An endless stream of rainbow color stems from your heart. Oh, of course it does. So when the rainbow blessings card comes in, Deborah, it's usually a sign that your chakras are coming into alignment. Your energy is coming into alignment. And when we're in that place of being balanced, all of our rainbow chakras in a nice little row, then our full self activates. Our heart sort of sends out this beam of energy. And I really feel like you become this beacon, especially in the holidays, of like love and light. Like you share gifts with people who aren't expecting them. You think of others in those charitable ways that some of us don't think about except at the holiday season. I just see you, you're coming into a space where you get to share all of you and spread the joy, because that's like your gift, sweetie. It's almost like you're walking around with a magic cookie basket and bringing little treats of joy to people everywhere you go. And you're the one who's bestowing the blessings on others. And that's how the divine is letting you know what a blessing you are. Okay? And you are. Nay, that's it. Except not true. I'm going to read Neshi a card because she sat through all this. She's forgetting herself. So emotional breakthrough. Woohoo! Emotional transformation, release, freedom. It is safe for you to express how you feel. Let it all out. Relationships deepen as a result. I wish you guys could see the happy dance she's doing on the other side. So yeah, all the stuff that you've had to hold on to because you've been doing, it's now it can just kind of let go and relax, and you can breathe again. I'm feeling a lot of breathing again, and just be you, which is cool for the holidays because we love when you're you. So I guess that's it, guys. Wow, we ran a little long, but this is my contact information at trinityhealingsanctuaries.com. That's how you catch up with me. And my spiritual blends that I have been channeling with the emotional help and release with the essential oils. There are some brand new ones for those of you who like the spiritual blends that got channeled in November. Crazy dump load of them. And so there is one to connect to Ra, and one to connect to Apollo, one to connect to your inner child, one to connect to your inner warrior, one to connect to Athena, one to connect to Nefertiti, and I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, and Mary Magdalene. So not a bad team to add to our already amazing crew of archangels and Mother Mary and some of the goddesses. So if that's anything that you would like for the holiday season, let me know. And I will be back here on Tuesday at noon for chakra sessions. I'm not sure. I know my team had something planned and I have already planned it, but I don't remember the name of it. You guys don't even have a clue. When my team comes through, they're just like, you're talking about this. And I'm like, all right. And then they channel through me what they want to share. So I will see you next week at 12. And tomorrow, I want to invite you to join our elders, because tomorrow is Elder Day. The last Thursday on Star Nations is Elder Day. So tomorrow morning at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time is Constance. And all I can remember about her show, when I see her show, it's all about connecting to the spiritual wisdom of the ages. There's always some nugget that my spirit needs to hear. And so I really encourage you to listening in, because the wisdom that comes through from the elders is so crucial. We've gotten away from sitting down and listening to all that they've learned. And this is a way for us to reconnect. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, there is the Mystery School with Carl and Ortune Franklin and with Neshi. And they're actually talking about St. Nicholas. And I'm really excited because I got to see his gravesite in Ireland when I was there. And the energy was really, really cool. And I connect very strongly to him. We've had conversations. So I'm looking very much forward to that. And and don't forget, the daily card draw with Neshi is every day at 3 o'clock, so that you can see what the energy is up for the day, and what you're going to maneuver through. And with that, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you in December. How's that? All right, bye, guys.